Going back to like my youngest years as a child, I have always been interested in stand-up comedians. And one of the reasons for that is I've always been interested in stories. I've always been interested in like lecture. When I was a kid, I used to listen to like speeches. I used to go to the library and get like speeches and Winston Churchill speeches and those sorts of things. And without my mother's permission, I used to get Richard Pryor tapes and Eddie Murphy tapes and Bill Cosby tapes, and I just really always have enjoyed that. And currently, one of my favorite comedians, a guy named Dave Chappelle, and he just released an epic special called 846, about the 8 minutes and 46 seconds that it took for that police officer to take the life of George Floyd and how long he was on his neck. And I watched that special expecting to laugh and expecting to listen to Dave Chappelle do his amazing, wonderful comedy. But what I got was like Dave Chappelle's heart. And one of the things he said really resonated, or one of the lessons from this really resonated with some of the things I've been talking about recently in my work. Because I think the field of psychotherapy has missed something. I think the idea that a counselor can listen to a client and understand is impossible. Like, I don't think anyone can understand. Like, for example, I could tell you everything you wanted to know about what it was like growing up black in Massachusetts in the late 80s, early 90s, with a father who was quite abusive. I could tell you everything you wanted to know about that, and you would never understand what it was like to be me going through that. You could empathize, and you could learn, and you could be warm, and you could express that it's safe for me to tell you, but you could never fully understand what it's like to be that way. And I hear counselors all the time, I hear helping professionals all the time saying that they listen and they have this gift of understanding their clients and they listen for understanding. And I think that we have to shift from listening to understanding to listening with compassion. And especially when you're doing solution-focused brief therapy, I'm not listening for understanding, I'm listening for opportunities to ask a question that helps the client describe the presence of their preferred future and their desired outcome. Now, this has been on my mind a lot recently. I've made other videos about this exact same thing. But there I am watching this Dave Chappelle special, and he's talking about what it's like to be black in America, and what it was like to be black in America and watch that life taken, and making that exact same point. Like, you can't understand it. But right now is a time where we have to like listen to one another. Right now is a time where we have to just allow one another to share and be educated by people. Right? So I think I just want to take this opportunity to completely like double down on this point. When you're sitting with someone who's been through a different experience than you, and by the way, that's all of your clients, I'm not trying to understand their experience. I'm trying to empathize with it. I'm trying to make them feel safe to share it. I'm trying to make them know that they're not being judged. And if you're doing solution-focused brief therapy, I'm trying to ask a question that helps them identify and describe their desired outcome. That is what this approach is all about. That is what this field should be all about. And I honestly think this idea that we can gain understanding of another person's experience, I think we missed it.